So I think I broke this game. No, I for sure did because see what happened was I saved and maybe closed out too early. I don't know. I honestly can't recreate the same thing, but I can't even get past the initial loading screen in. So yes, in a sense, I have broken the game because I cannot play the game, but this is also a known issue that they are working on. It's something I knew about before even starting that this could happen. I'll likely have to restart from the beginning if a fix is unavailable or if the save files they sent don't work, and so far I can't get them to work. But this is a big but, that's what she said. I think this game is worth playing. In fact, it makes me want to play this game even more to see the murder mystery with supernatural stylings that I was just starting to unravel. The Thaumaturge is a game name I'm going to say wrong every single time. It's an isometric murder mystery with supernatural European flavors sprinkled all throughout the game. Games like Peaky Blinders and Partisans, both games I have reviewed before, are very similar to this. This is also Fool Theory's second game with a stealth-based game 7 back in 2017, and can we just 2017, what an amazing year for gaming. 2023 might rival it, but 2017, chef's kiss. But anyway, 11-Bit Studios, a fan favorite and a personal favorite of mine, are back as publishers. And we've seen their other games like Children of Morta, Frostpunk 1 and 2. The 2 is coming out soon, I think, and an upcoming game called Indica, which it looks really cool too. So we got some talent aboard here. Now, until I can fix this game, this humble 12 hours inside of the Thaumaturge will have to be enough. Plus, 12 hours, let's be honest, is a very long time. That's most game time. So if that's not enough to say, hey, my experience with this is either you should buy this or not, then I just recommend you buy the game for yourself, because no matter what I say, it's not going to sway your mind if 12 hours isn't enough for you, no? Anyway, we're going to do this one a little bit different than how I usually do my reviews. We're going to go hour by hour. Some of them are going to be a little chaotic, a little disorganized, but these were just my thoughts as I was playing, writing them down. The first hour is all about learning the controls, and with a 30 GB download, there's a lot to see, do, and learn about this game, from petting dogs to interconnecting lore that spans several unique areas. It quickly establishes the world of 1905 Poland, from the 4 outlying villages to the eccentric city of Warsaw itself. There are tons of people and choice-based dialogue options, kind of like that Paragon Renegade system, but we call them flaws here, and you can feed into your flaws and it'll unlock different dialogue options, but it can also make you look, in some cases, if you feed into your pride, like a bit of a dick. Pardon my French, a bit of an unpleasant person some of the dialogue options can make you, but the trade-off is you get to have different dialogue, renegade, whatever, dialogue options in the future. We also meet somebody here that I don't know if I want to trust them, and that happens to be Rasputin. Yes, the very same one we all know from history, so I'm on the fence about trusting him only an hour into this game. Since there's a, combat system, it only makes sense that there's a skill tree. I won't say it is like a Assassin's Creed skill tree where it's complex and there's branching paths. This is more like I have these points and let's just put them here because I either need my word level to be higher for an investigation, I need my one of my flaws to be higher so I can investigate or talk to somebody differently. Kind of like that. I used 90% of the time I used the same powers throughout the entire game. And the final thing that was on my brain immediately at the start of the game was it needs more sound effects. This game does not have enough sound effects.
Let us lay our hands.
You know, like how if you're sitting at a table, you'll hear, if you're sliding something across the table, you'll hear that the rustle of fabric, your feet tapping. There's always some ambient noise going on because the world is not quiet, but this has very quiet moments. I think if they just put some sound effects in there, and this is probably going to be my main point of contention because I am going to bring it up several more times because it was such a jarring thing. But let's hop into hour 2. 2 hours in introduced me to powers like manipulation and feeding into your flaws, and finding out that there's multiple ways to do things, which replayability, there you go, right through the roof, different dialogue options, different ways of going somewhere first and finding something, or there's just so many ways to play. The load times were pretty good. I thought they would be awful. After that first initial loading, which I will say is a little bit longer, it's aside from some pop-in, it runs really smoothly. I was surprised, honestly, because I did think with my older system that it wasn't going to happen. And my final thought at 2 hours was the voice acting is good, but something is wrong and I can't figure it out yet. But spoiler alert, I will figure it out. 3 hours in, it's kind of all started to blend together in a good way. It really pulled me into the game. My first thought was that the off the train was Tsar Nicholas has some really big bug eyes. Warsaw, I did see once I got him proper some performance issues, but again, that's probably my computer. There is a lot going on in Warsaw, and it's like the central hub for a lot of you that you do, so there's always something going on. There's also a problem with the game ending cutscenes too early. That's a little annoying. I'm like, what was she saying? Damn it. Okay. Again, the voice, the SFX, the sound effects. Please. It just needs just a rustling of a shirt or something. And the final thing on hour 3 was, again, the voice acting. It was all over the place. I have yet to come across a character that was that's bad, doing a bad job. But you can tell that the voice acting direction wasn't the same for everybody. Our main character suffers from a monotone voice, which is something I do as well, so I can hardly fault him. However, the characters around him often do not match his energetic, or do not match him. Either they're way too energetic for the scene, or joyful when he's monotone, or it's just like the tone doesn't match him every time. And as far as I'm concerned, if he is your main character, he should be the one everybody's matching. It doesn't matter what everybody else is doing. He is the storyteller. People have to match him. Now, 4 hours in is when we start to have some issues, because I got my first crash here, and it did the Bioware thing where it had no audio, which I had to restart. We're going to start to see a little bit of issues, but overall I'm still enjoying the game. We know that the main character has some daddy issues that need to be figured out by the end of the game. One thing I did notice as well, another point, is sometimes the information is wrong on characters. I know it's small, but the father's age being different in 2 different spots was just either an oversight, or maybe it's meant to draw your attention to it, like, oops, something's not right here, but I think it may have been just honestly a mistake. And my final thought for 4 hours in is there are a lot of missable quests depending on the time of day, because there are 4 times of day. There's afternoon, noon, afternoon, noon, morning, and night. And there are different quests that happen on radiant quests, I should say, random quests that happen during those times, so you can miss stuff. And there's also timed quests. I found that out in 4 hours. Yeah, timed quests consist of getting the quest done before the next major story point, not an in-game day passing, which it had me a little panicked at first. We're going to group hour 5, 6, and 7 together because a lot was happening and not a lot at the same time. I got distracted into side quests and urban secret quest. And that's pretty much where a lot of these hours went, where I was trying the difficulty scale and going through the difficulty scale for different fights to see if it does in fact change, which it does. And on hour 7, I came across another no audio thing on the first boot of the day. This audio thing seems to be a small issue, but it resolves itself. Warsaw feels like Saint Denis from Red Dead 2, and that's a good thing because I quite enjoy the turn of the century vaudeville type vibe, and we see that smeared all throughout Warsaw. It is so lively and full of things to do. My final point for these hours is that London bar owner, he reminds me of a loyal but seedy person with a good heart that you have to earn it. He reminds me of Alcibiades from Assassin's Creed Odyssey, where kind of a drunk, perceived as an idiot, but really a mastermind and gets a lot of things done, 8 hours. 8 hours is It was interesting because I had recently reset my skill tree, and then I crashed. I crashed for the second time, and that lost me about 2 hours of gameplay, and I can't say why the autosave didn't kick in and save closer to. I was going, you know how like it will game save in and out of doors? I was going in and out of doors, so I don't know why it didn't save, but this will be something that rears its head later on. We'll have to deal with this again. At 9 hours in, I decided that is enough time in your side quest, ma'am. It is time to go back to the main mission, and that's what I did for till the game pretty much quit on me. At 10 hours in, first I was going to stop the review at 10 hours in, but I felt truly like I didn't play enough of this game, which is wild because 10 hours in usually means I'm finished the game, or that is a great marker, or if you like a game or not, to recommend it to other people. And I do recommend this game, even though we've listed out some issues already. This game is so good, it's worth picking up. Now we are at 11 hours in, there's only one more hour left, and I think I might have figured out why the talking feels so stilted for me. And it may not be an every person thing, but it is something that, as I've talked about it 11 hours into this game, it is something that draws your attention. It feels like because they want people to be front facing on the screen, the person talking is the one we see, that there's a lot of jump cuts switching back and forth between characters. I think there's ways to show the character talking without them being on screen, which would cut down on a lot of the jump cuts, which do, I'm not gonna lie, make it feel a little chaotic, and I don't like a lot of fast jump cuts. In fact, I'll turn off a video if there's a lot of fast jump cuts. It just makes me feel motion sick. But I do think this is the way they wanted to portray their game, is just maybe take out some of the spaces between dialogue, or like when the dialogue kicks in for somebody, because there is like sometimes a few seconds of, is this person gonna talk? I think if they clean that up a little bit, it wouldn't be such a noticeable issue. But it is obviously an issue because I am talking about it and I have talked about it through the entire thing, and I'm sure you guys would notice it. It's just like a little bit of a interact a little faster kind of thing. It's like when you're waiting for your Sims to do something. Like, come on, do a little faster, please. And this is it. This is it. This is the final hour of doom for the Thaumaturge. And yes, I said that different from how I said it earlier, didn't I? 12 hours in, and I was branching off to do the non-main quest Salutar mission to pick up Morana, the lady in the small village. And I should have known something was going on because we had T-poses going on in the background. We had boys and girls, everybody in between T-posing. And then crash number 3 happened. And crash number 3 is the infamous one because it was saving at the end of the night. I had just finished a big ass session. There was no cloud saves or backups to fall in. None of the auto saves kicked in, and I can't make it past the loading screen now. It says fatal low issue, but that is a known issue that they are working on. I just don't know if they have it fixed yet at the time of you watching this. They might have, though. And then pretty much after that, I couldn't do anything. So here we are, 11 hours in the Thaumaturge. And that leads us to where we are right now. A broken game that I don't know if I can fix without wiping everything and doing a fresh start, but a game I'm gonna say you should. In 12 hours, I got to run around a world that felt seeped in history and supernatural, fact-based, grounded lore that held me from moment 1 to moment 2, because I saw this game, a trailer for it, God, 2 years ago, and I was like, this looks cool, and it has lived up to the expectations that I have had for these last 2 years of it. It may not be a perfect game, but it is a game with a lot of love and care crafted into it from the ground up, and I do recommend that you play Thaumaturge, and I will, once I get it fixed, maybe I'll stream it, maybe I'll make some quick clips of stuff, or maybe I'll do a full review once I get it fixed. But for now, I'm going to leave you guys with that. If you want to see more, let me know in the comment section below. Again, I'm going to try to fix this game. I do recommend you try it out, but if you don't, that's okay too, and you just go play whatever's in your backlog. And I'm glad you watched this video, and tell me your favorite isometric style game or turn-based combat game like this in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.